Life is a big school. We all have to learn.
Once upon a time, a sultan governed with his 3 sons, Hussein, Ali, and Ahmed, and his niece, Princess Nuranihar. The princess, an orphan, was raised in the palace alongside the princes. As they grew, they all fell deeply in love with her, leading to a royal dilemma. The sultan, wishing to avoid discord among his sons, proposed a challenge. Each prince would journey to distant lands, seeking the most extraordinary rarity. He who returned with the most unique prize would win the hand of the beautiful Nuranihar. With their father's blessing and gold for their quests, the princes set off. They agreed to meet after 1 year at the same inn to return together to their father's palace. The following morning, they bid each other farewell and ventured into the unknown, each taking a different path. The eldest prince, Usan, arrived in Biznagar, a kingdom renowned for its vibrant markets. He explored its many streets, all abuzz with traders selling their goods. The city's splendor filled him with admiration as he embarked on his quest for the extraordinary rarity. Prince Hussein marveled at the goods on display: fine linens from India, vibrant silks and brocades from Persia and China, delicate porcelain, and dazzling jewels. He was particularly taken by the abundance of roses, a beloved flower in India, their fragrance perfuming the air. Tired from his explorations, Hussein was resting in a shop when he saw a crier carrying a modest tapestry, priced astonishingly high. Intrigued, the prince demanded to know why such an ordinary piece commanded such a price. The crier revealed the tapestry's extraordinary power. Whoever sat on it could be instantly transported to any location. Recognizing this as the unique rarity he sought, Prince Hussein agreed to buy the tapestry, offering a generous present to the crier, who promised to prove the tapestry's magic. The crier proposed a test. They would sit on the tapestry, and if Hussein wasn't transported back to his lodgings at the Khan, the sale would be off. Eagerly awaiting the proof of the tapestry's power, Prince Hussein agreed to the deal. Prince Hussein was instantly transported to his lodgings, along with the crier. Convinced of the tapestry's powers, the prince paid the agreed sum and generously rewarded the crier. Overjoyed at his purchase, Prince Hussein was certain it would win him the hand of Nuranihar. Though he could instantly transport to the agreed meeting place, curiosity held him back. He spent months in Biznagar, learning about its strength, laws, customs, and religion. Meanwhile, Prince Ali had journeyed to Shiraz, the capital of Persia. Passing as a jeweler, he was intrigued by the local Bezestein or marketplace. Among the goods on offer, Prince Ali was puzzled by a crier selling an ivory telescope for 30 purses. Thinking the man mad, Ali sought clarification from a local merchant. The merchant assured him of the crier's sanity and promised to help Ali understand the high price. The crier revealed the true nature of the ivory telescope, claiming it could show any object or person the viewer wished to see. Intrigued, Prince Ali put the telescope to the test, wishing to see his father and his beloved Princess Nuranihar. To his astonishment, he saw them both vividly. Convinced of the telescope's worth, he purchased it, confident that it would secure him the hand of the princess. Overjoyed with his purchase, Prince Ali spent time exploring Shiraz before joining a returning caravan to the Indies. He arrived at the meeting point, reuniting with Prince Hussein, and both waited for the arrival of Prince Ahmed. In Samarkand, Prince Ahmed encountered a crier selling an ordinary-looking apple for a hefty sum. The crier revealed the apple's miraculous power to cure mortal diseases with a mere smell. Skeptical but curious, Prince Ahmed found the townsfolk attesting to the apple's power. The apple was the last work of a local philosopher who, sadly, had not been able to use it before his own sudden demise, leaving his family in need. An opportunity to test the apple's power presented itself when a man claimed his friend was on the brink of death. Prince Ahmed promised the crier 40 purses if he managed to save the sick man. The experiment was successful, cementing Prince Ahmed's faith in the apple's miraculous power. Upon acquiring the apple, Prince Ahmed waited for a caravan returning to the Indies. In good health, he reached the inn where his brothers awaited him. The three princes revealed their unique treasures to each other and learned through the perspective glass that the princess was in grave danger. Realizing the severity of the princess's condition, the brothers used the magic carpet to instantly transport themselves to her bedside. Prince Ahmed used the apple to revive her. Upon waking as if from a deep sleep, she gratefully thanked all the princes with special gratitude towards Prince Ahmed. The princes, having presented their wonders to the Sultan, eagerly awaited his decision. Each of their finds had proven invaluable, and now the fate of their efforts lay in the Sultan's hands. Their hearts pounded with anticipation as they pleaded with him to decide who would win the hand of the beautiful Princess Nouronihar. After much contemplation, the Sultan pointed out that each prince's gift was essential in saving the princess's life. Their contributions were equal, making it impossible for him to justly choose one over the other. But he proposed a solution, a competition of archery, where the winner would win the princess. The princes had no objections to their father's decision. They each acquired a bow and an arrow and made their way to the designated field. The contest drew a large crowd eager to witness the spectacle. Prince Hussein was the first to shoot, followed by Prince Ali, whose arrow sailed much farther. However, when Prince Ahmed shot, his arrow disappeared, and despite everyone's best efforts, it could not be found. Even though many believed that Prince Ahmed's arrow had traveled the farthest, the missing arrow left room for doubt. The Sultan, therefore, declared Prince Ali the winner, and preparations for the wedding began immediately. The city was soon buzzing with the excitement of the impending royal celebration. Overwhelmed by his grief, Prince Hussein chose to turn his back on his royal heritage and live as a hermit. He did not partake in his brother's celebration, instead opting for a life of isolation and tranquility. Prince Ahmed, troubled by the disappearance of his arrow, decided to search for it. His search took him far from the bustling city to a desolate area marked by craggy rocks. Just as he was about to abandon his quest, Prince Ahmed found his arrow near the rocks. It lay flat, seemingly bounced back from the hard surface of the rocks. Astonished, he wondered if there might be a mystery hidden within this peculiar occurrence. Exploring a nearby cave, the prince came upon an iron door. It opened easily, revealing an underground passage leading to a grand palace. The palace was breathtaking, but it was the majestic lady and her entourage of beautiful attendants advancing towards him that truly captured his attention. The lady welcomed Prince Ahmed by his name, which took him by surprise. However, she assured him that his curiosity had not led him astray, but instead had brought him to a place where he was most welcome. Fairy Peri revealed her true identity as a daughter of a powerful genie, explaining how she knew Prince Ahmed. She also confessed to altering the course of his arrow, leading him to this hidden place. Her gaze held a tender promise of a future that Ahmed was quick to discern. Overwhelmed by Fairy Peribanu's beauty and grace, Prince Ahmed pledged his heart to her. He asked her to accept him as her humble servant, expressing his admiration for her. With a joyous heart, Fairy Peribanu accepted Prince Ahmed's pledge, uniting their destinies. As they prepared for their upcoming wedding feast, she promised to show him the grandeur of her palace, indicating that the magnificent hall they were currently in was just the beginning. The fairy's women served Prince Ahmed with the finest of foods and wines. He was awestruck by the richness of the palace and the delectable feast, acknowledging that he had never seen such opulence before. The fairy guided Prince Ahmed through the grand palace, showcasing its precious stones and marbles. Overwhelmed by its magnificence, the prince found himself unable to fully comprehend the extent of the splendor before him. After 6 months, Prince Ahmed felt an intense longing to visit his father, the Sultan. The fairy permitted him to leave, providing him with 20 attendants and a piece of advice, to not reveal their marriage or her true identity. With a promise to return soon, Prince Ahmed departed the grand palace. As Prince Ahmed mounted his horse and bid his final adieu to the fairy, he set off on his journey back home, embarking on a new chapter of his life. Prince Ahmed's return to his father's capital was met with joyous acclamation. The Sultan, elated to see his son after a long absence, received him with an embrace, expressing his concern over Ahmed's safety and well-being. The Sultan implored Prince Ahmed to stay with him, expressing a desire to know where he might send for him should he need his presence. The prince, however, chose to maintain his secret and requested the Sultan's understanding, assuring him of his frequent visits. Following his brief visit, Prince Ahmed returned to Fairy Peribanu's palace. The fairy, surprised by his swift return, welcomed him back with joy. A month after Prince Ahmed's return, Fairy Peribanu noticed his silence regarding the Sultan. Reminding him of his promise to frequently visit his father, she urged him to fulfill his commitment. Taking Peribanu's words to heart, Prince Ahmed began regular visits to the Sultan. With each visit, his entourage, attire, and equipment were grander and richer, showcasing his prosperous new life while keeping the source of his wealth a secret. Some of the Sultan's favorites, impressed by Prince Ahmed's grandeur and power, started feeding the Sultan's insecurities. They suggested a possible rebellion led by Prince Ahmed, attempting to paint him as a potential threat to the throne. The Sultan, confident of his son's loyalty, dismissed these suggestions. However, their insinuations had sown a seed of doubt in his mind, prompting him to take precautionary measures. Wishing to ensure his son's loyalty, the Sultan called upon a female magician. She was instructed to follow Prince Ahmed discreetly to discover the source of his newfound wealth and power. The magician attempted to track Prince Ahmed to his mysterious destination, but lost sight of him near a rocky area. Her search for a hidden entrance proved fruitless, as she failed to discover the enchanted gate, only visible to those favored by Fairy Banu. The magician returned to the Sultan, having failed to discover Prince Ahmed's mysterious destination. Her findings, though incomplete, added another layer of mystery to Prince Ahmed's actions and whereabouts. Pleased with the magician's efforts, the Sultan bestowed upon her a valuable diamond, fueling her determination to discover Prince Ahmed's secret. Knowing Prince Ahmed's schedule, the cunning magician devised a ruse. Feigning illness by the rocky pathway, she waited for the compassionate prince to cross her path. Prince Ahmed, oblivious to the magician's true identity, offered his assistance to the seeming stranger in distress. He instructed his attendants to help her and bring her back to the ferry for treatment. Unknowingly, Prince Ahmed led the disguised magician through the enchanted iron gate, inching closer to revealing his mysterious secret. As they arrived at the outer court of the fairy's abode, Prince Ahmed sent a message to Fairy Banu, informing her of their ill guest, who was none other than the surreptitious magician in disguise. The disguised magician took the healing potion reluctantly, playing along with the ruse. The powerful concoction restored her quickly, leaving her ready to continue her mission. The magician was then guided through the grandeur of the palace, each room more lavish than the last. Her awe only intensified upon reaching the grand hall where the Fairy Banu resided. In the grand hall, Fairy Banu sat upon her majestic throne, surrounded by a court of beautiful fairies. The sight left the magician speechless, leaving the fairy to kindly dismiss her with an offer to explore the palace. After her excursion, the magician reported back to the Sultan. She relayed the immense wealth and power of Prince Ahmed, insinuating the risk of him usurping the throne. Despite his belief in his son's good nature, the Sultan couldn't help but worry about the potential threat Prince Ahmed posed. He thanked the magician and pondered on the weighty matter, deciding to take it to his council for deliberation. The Sultan's advisors suggested a cruel end for Prince Ahmed, while the magician proposed a cunning plan to drain the fairy's goodwill towards the prince by making relentless demands. Accepting the magician's advice, the Sultan asked for a magical pavilion that could shelter an entire army, yet be carried in one's hand. Despite his uncertainty, Prince Ahmed agreed to request this of his fairy wife. Overcome with concern, Prince Ahmed confided in the fairy about the Sultan's request. He feared causing offense by asking for something so grand. The Fairy Banu, unperturbed by the extravagant demand, reassured Prince Ahmed and agreed to provide the requested pavilion. The fairy's treasurer, Noor Jahan, swiftly brought the requested pavilion, small enough to fit in one's hand, yet magically designed to shelter an entire army. The sight left Prince Ahmed in wonder. When Prince Ahmed saw the gigantic pavilion that the fairy had produced, his skepticism turned to astonishment. The pavilion was far larger than he had ever imagined, and his respect for the fairy's power deepened. Prince Ahmed returned to his father and presented the miraculous tent. The Sultan was stunned by the pavilion's scale and the remarkable magic that had produced it. Despite being impressed with the pavilion, the Sultan made another demand. He requested a bottle of the magical water of the Fountain of Lions, known to cure all fevers, testing his son's allegiance once again. The fairy warned Prince Ahmed about the significant danger involved in obtaining the water. The fountain was heavily guarded by 4 fierce lions. Yet, undeterred, she promised to provide means for him to bypass the threat safely. The fairy Banu prepared Prince Ahmed for his dangerous journey. She gave him a clue of thread, 2 horses with mutton quarters, and a bottle for the magic water, detailing the steps he needed to follow to navigate the lions and reach the fountain. Following the fairy's instructions, Prince Ahmed fearlessly distributed mutton among the lions and filled his bottle from the magical fountain. His courage never wavered, even as he made the perilous return journey. Safely returned, Prince Ahmed presented the magical water to the Sultan. He thanked the Sultan for the gift, hoping he would never need to use such a powerful remedy. Despite his son's successful ventures, the Sultan made a third, seemingly impossible request. He asked for a man not above 1.5 feet high, with a 30-feet-long beard and carrying a bar of iron of 500 weight. While Prince Ahmed doubted such a man existed, the Sultan remained unwavering in his demand. Upon the arrival of Shaibar, fear seized the city. Streets became desolate, and even the palace guards fled, allowing Prince Ahmed and Shaibar unimpeded access to the Sultan's court. Shaibar, feeling disrespected by the Sultan's reaction, lost his patience and attacked him, killing the Sultan and his viziers before Prince Ahmed could intervene. The only survivors were those who fled in terror or owed their life to Prince Ahmed, such as the Grand Vizier. Shaibar then ordered the magician to be brought before him, and with a swift stroke of his iron bar, he ended her life. Threatening the town with the same fate if they did not accept Prince Ahmed as Sultan, Shaibar secured his brother-in-law's rule. The city echoed with cries of loyalty to the new Sultan. Shaibar then brought his sister Peri with all pomp and grandeur, and she was accepted as the Sultaness of the Indies. Under the reign of the new Sultan, peace was restored. Prince Ahmed assigned provinces to Prince Ali and Princess Nuronihar. As for Prince Hussein, he chose to continue his life in solitude, happy in his retreat. As for Sultan Ahmed and Sultaness Peri, their rule was wise and just. Together they watched over their realm, ensuring peace and prosperity for all their subjects. Their love and respect for each other echoed throughout their kingdom, inspiring the people to live in harmony. And thus ends the story of Prince Ahmed and the fairy Peri, a tale of adventure and love, a reminder of bravery and wisdom, an echo of magic and the triumph of good over evil. It is a tale that transcends time, carrying with it lessons for all, a tale that will live on in the hearts of those who listen. Until we meet again for another tale, remember the magic of stories and the power they hold.